Imagine having enough passive income that you didn't have to worry about the next round of layoffs. Even more so, you could drop the mic and quit that 9 to 5. You just don't need it. But how do you know if one property, a specific property, will get you there to your end goal? Stick around, because in this video, we're going to be talking about how to underwrite a deal, a rental property investment. My name is Aaron White. I have been investing in rental properties for well over 11 years. And today I'm a realtor that helps people like you get into rental property investing and answer a lot of the basic questions to get started. Today, we're going to be discussing a crucial skill, which is how to underwrite the property before you buy it, make sure it's a good deal. But how do you start there? So ideally, by this point, you have some sort of target cash flow in mind, but how do we calculate the actual cash flow? That's what we're going to discuss. First, you have to absolutely calculate your PITI, also known as your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. These are your baseline costs on any property that you're going to have to pay. Great, got your baseline out of the way, but you got several other things that you need to factor in your investment that will cost you money at some point in time. Keep in mind several things. Property management, who's going to do it? If you're not going to do it, you need to be paying somebody to manage that property. How much does that cost? Often between 5 to 10% of the rent in each given month. You know how to pay HOA fees. These are big in Houston. They come up. Ultimately, the HOAs are going to be asking for their money. They're coming for you. Other things we need to be counting is operating expenditures and capital expenditures. Operating expenditures are those inevitable things that pop up. Occasionally, you're going to have a disposal that just clogs up, doesn't work right, and you have to replace it. Other things on the capital side, you'll have things like appliances, roof, HVAC. These are your bigger ticket items. They don't fail as often, but ideally when you're buying them, you're getting some sort of estimate of when you're going to have money set aside to replace those items. And last of all is vacancy, because at some point the tenant's going to move and you're going to have at least 1 month or maybe 2 where that house is not occupied. And that will cost you something because you still have a mortgage to cover during that time. Okay, after breaking all those costs down into monthly fees, now you have what's cash flow. And that's really true cash flow that you get. But keep in mind, cash flow is just the gravy on a rental property investment. The real power in rental property investing comes from paying down the mortgage, because every time the tenant pays you rent, you're paying down the mortgage. And then you have the appreciation of that property. As that property value goes up, it's not just the amount that you paid for the loan, maybe 25% to buy that house, but the entire property goes up in value. And the last of all, of course, is the tax benefits that you get with that. Talk to your tax expert, see how you can help get your tax bill lowered by having rental properties. So keep in mind, the next time you go in to jump in for a rental property, it's not just about the rent check, it's about the whole picture. What is that property bringing you in the long term in terms of gains? And then what are my costs associated with that property? Be smart, calculate it out. If you're in the greater Houston area and you want some help, like, hey, how do I underwrite this? Give me some sort of calculator I can use and some guidance on this. DM me Underwrite and let's chat. I'm gonna help you get started on how to underwrite your first rental property investment.